Some paint got in my eye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Art Therapy on Miami Community Radio. Shout out dear Eleanor. Today, we have another special guest, the one, the only Arsimmer McCoy.
Thank you for having me. You got paint in your hair too.
Yeah, it happens.
Thank you for having me. This is a cool spot. I did not know about this spot at all. I am loving the vibes. It's spacious. We got like two homies in the audience. What's up, y'all? Chilling. We got champagne in recyclable cups. I'm feeling like a queen.
You should. You should. And here at Dear Eleanor, we like to make sure that the space is very comfortable and inclusive for everybody. So please make yourself at home.
Thank you. I will. Let me get in the couch then.
So, so for those of y'all who don't know Arsimmer McCoy, she is not only a great poet, a great writer, but she also is one of Mocha's newest employees. So
wow.
Clap it up for her, y'all. Clap it up in the audience. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Yes. It's been super exciting getting back into the administration, portion of it. I had been a full-time artist and freelance and contractor for so long, but I wanted to amplify my impact.
Absolutely.
I have been in contact with so many great artists. My network has grown so much over the years, and so I'm thankful for this position because I can expound upon the work that I've already been doing through community programs. So, yeah, it's amazing. It's great.
That's amazing. So tell the good people what your role is exactly and what those responsibilities entail.
Okay, so I am community programs and education. I'm the manager of that. And so pretty much it's like it sounds. I am managing those programs that already exist and soon to be what's the word I'm looking for, putting in place some new ones, also expanding the reach of the programs that already exist. So Jazz at Mocha, the Junior Docet program with W.J. Bryan, where the little ones get to go into the gallery and learn about the work and then invite their parents and then show their parents and teach their parents about the work. These are the things that pull at me, excite me. So I get to work in those spaces and also figure out, well, how do we get more schools? How do we get more kids to learn about this? I'd really love to get it on the collegiate level so that, there are folks who are looking into becoming curators, that they know that that's something that they can do and it's something that is lucrative and something that is, good for their, well-being. I want to be able to tap into those spaces. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah.
That's fine. So how's the job been treating you so far?
It's been good. I mean, it's a tiptoeing. What I appreciate about it is most times with contract work, you're kind of thrown into the fray, right? You don't get a chance to learn the lay of the land. It's very quick.
Right.
So I've learned to be quick on my feet. I've learned to pivot. I've kind of learned also to be hyper independent. So with this job, it's been very much like, no, let us walk you through it. Let us take our time. Let us show you the lay of the land. And what's really amazing is I got to come into the job while an exhibition was being put up.
Oh, yeah?
So I felt like a kid. Like I got to see the installation go up. I got to see the groundwork. I got to see all the collection come in and the gloves and the hands and the boxes and the artists, doing site-specific work. I got to see Hiba Shabazz doing site-specific work. It is her 15-year retrospective that's up right now.
Nice.
Diana Eusebio, who I have had the pleasure of working with while I worked with artists in residence in the Everglades.
Fire.
She now has her first solo museum exhibition up at the same time as Hiba. And so seeing her, doing the work, installing her pieces, her family, it's been incredible. So yeah, I'm very thankful to be brought into a space in such a beautiful and thoughtful way.
That's beautiful. I'm really happy for you, Arsimmer.
Thank you.
Oh
I'm
my
having
gosh.
time. Thank you.
Right. Honestly, you deserve it because I see the type of work that you put in with the community when it comes to uplifting and supporting others. And also just, I realize that you know how to pour into people. So you finding a space that you can absolutely pour into and be your absolute self in, like, I'm glad.
It's important. I think the artists, especially the artists in Miami, needs that safe spaces, loving spaces, common sense spaces.
Yeah.
And when I say common sense, it's just, people who know better do better. And that's from the top to the bottom. I think we all deserve that.
Yep.
As a city of artists that have to hustle every single day, grind every single day. So yeah, it is a blessing when you can find a space that promotes safety and feels safe.
That's great. So what's your favorite thing about this new role?
Oh, my favorite thing. My favorite thing. What am I like all of it. Like I can't say that there is one thing,
What are your favorite things then?
My favorite things, getting to be hands-on with the exhibitions, it is actually my job to learn them, to know the work so that I can pass it down to people who may come in or even to my kids, for programming, in order to program properly, in order to like bring the activations to life, like you got to know the work, right? You can't just be doing random things that don't match the work.
Right.
So it actually is my job to know what people are looking at. Also, I'm excited for Jazz at Mocha as as somebody who is a lover of jazz.
Right.
Very much so. I'm excited to like get to see these artists and meet with these artists and hopefully be able to program some artists myself. I think that's super exciting. I also go out into the field. I get to, be at parent teacher conferences.
What?
I am a parent, So these are things that are very important to me, and it's important that they see me and know that, Mocha wants to work with schools and education to see that, these kids get an insight into what's going on and that it's accessible.
Right.
People make art this high thing that's not accessible to everyone, and that's simply not true. It is not a rich man's space.
Right.
Yeah. It is a space for all of us. Yeah. Right now, even if you're a collector now, you can collect on the very smallest level. You can collect on Instagram. I think, like everybody can be a collector now.
Yeah.
So I want people to know like, hey, this is for you, especially in North Miami. This is for you. We want you here. Mocha has had some of the most, artists from the Caribbean, right, represented in that space than I've seen in other spaces.
That's beautiful.
So come support, come see yourselves.
Yeah.
We want to see ourselves in the work. Mocha has it so that you can see yourself in the work.
That's very beautiful because a lot of...
And Mocha did not pay me to say that. I just want to put that out there. They did not pay me.
That's coming from the heart.
They do pay me, but they ain't pay me to say that.
But it's like to appreciate your job that much to be able to gush about it. It's such a blessing, for real.
I mean, I had to sit and think about some of the most prolific work that I've seen in the city. I've seen at Mocha.
Yeah.
I always forget this man's last name. I know his first name is Richard. He was an artist, I believe, that had a studio in the Twin Towers.
What?
Yes. And from my understanding, I believe he was in the Twin Towers when 9/11 took place. I could be wrong. So please fact check that for me. But he did an entire series on the Tuskegee Airmen. And there was a piece where he put himself in this bronze cast with airplanes going through his body. Right. Exactly. And Mocha had that. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Amazing. Like, amazing work. I mean, they had all of his pieces in that space. I think Pam had like one or two pieces, but Mocha literally had these gigantic bronze statues along with other pieces, his large works, and that changed my life.
Wow.
Like seeing that, and also just like prophecy, you know, this thought process of prophecy. So yeah, that happened there. Didier Duvalier, I think I'm saying that right. Work was done there. So come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, they know what to do.
That's fire. So do you feel like working there is changing your appreciation of art? Is it evolving?
I wouldn't say, that's interesting.
Let me phrase
I think
it like
there's
this.
all, yeah.
Do you feel like how you approach interacting with artwork has changed as a result of working there?
No.
No?
I think I've always approached art very intimately. I think it has affirmed what I've always thought about art and what I've always thought about artists and what I've always thought about the art space, what it should be, what it can be, what it could be. But no, because the first artist I was in contact with was my mother. My mother, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any holiday, the way she decorates the house, the way she curates her home.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? The way she decided that this particular artist's work reminded her of the South. Mind you, this is some white man from Scandinavia, but she loved that work so much that she collected that. Anytime she saw it, she knew his signature, and she would buy those pieces at garage sales, randomly at Goodwill. She would find this man. My mother's a collector, right?
Nice.
So I've always had a very keen sense of like what it actually means to love art. And to cultivate that practice organically.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Mocha's just affirming what I've already known. Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, and there's always room for evolution. You know, I'm definitely learning new bags as far as administration. I would say that, but yeah, always known. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
So, you as an artist, I want to talk about what you recently did with Lotus Projects.
Oh yeah.
First of all, congratulations, because it's not just anybody start working with Lotus. Like, that's a big deal.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get your phone.
Okay.
So ADHD makes me forget things when I'm put on the spot.
For sure.
So yeah, you could just go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. You knew exactly where to go.
We ADHD friendly over here. I also got it. You feel me?
Thank you okay, great. I was right. I need to trust myself. So Locust Project. This amazing artist, Michael Webster. Locust Project does an open call for the various spaces in the gallery, and his project he submitted was about sound mirrors. Sound mirrors. So sound mirrors are these structures that are in England, and they were used to signal warships, to let folks know when these ships were coming to shore, to let them know they were out there, and the sound would bounce off of these mirrors to let you know. And so he takes this concept and he builds his own sound mirrors because he's a mad genius that actually work. And that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But he adds a layer to it where he wants to reach out to poets and talk about what does warning sound like to us in this present day? What is the warning signal that we're sending to each other from across the water? And so Locust tells them, Arsimmer, I've done work with Locust in the past, so I was the first poet that came up for them to work with, and I'm so thankful for that. Shout out to Lori for putting me down, putting me out there. And so Lori connects me to Michael, and then he's like, well, I want to, get one more poet for you to have a call and response with. And we kind of go on this cute little like date a poet, like, you know, you know, and like we gotta find a third, you know. So we're both doing our own, you know, separate research, and he comes back with Selena Nwulu. And Selena is this amazing poet. I mean, first of all, she's got a British accent, so she could literally read the whole entire encyclopedia, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But she's talented. Her work is about the environment. It is about connectivity and the Black body and connectivity with Black bodies to each other, with the environment changing.
Right.
And so we reach out to Selena. We tell her, like, hey, we're trying to do this. We would love to have you be a part of it, to write. We have a couple of meetings via Zoom. We almost went to England, but Michael got COVID, which Selena was terrified about the entire time. Like, she was like, yeah, I'm not coming up there. Like, she was not coming to the U.S. She was like, y'all sick. Like, nah, I'm straight.
That's fair, though.
And then Michael gets COVID, and it's like, I told y'all was sick.
Damn.
So we don't end up going to England, but what we do end up is creating this amazing call and response work between Selena and I, of poetry, of audio that I recorded, that she recorded, music, song. And what comes of this is, like, Selena and I are these two women on different sides of the planet, warning each other of the dangers, warning the planet of the dangers, cautioning, you know, everyone on, like, hey, this is what it's looking like if we don't move, if we don't get it together.
Right.
And so he takes those recordings, he makes his own, like, sound thing, like these speakers that he finds online.
Yeah.
Makes his own 3D printed stands for them inside of the sound mirrors. So my voice is bouncing off one sound mirror. So literally you sit in front of it and you can, like, hear it. But if you move out of the way, you no longer hear it anymore.
Wow.
And I watched this man do this. Like, he took strings and put the strings directly across from each other. And depending on how tight they were, that would let him know whether or not the mirrors were exactly where they needed to be.
Wow.
So imagine walking, what was that movie with Tom Cruise where he was going under the lights? Is that Mission Impossible?
Yeah,
so
Mission
it was like
Impossible.
Mission Impossible with strings everywhere around that room.
Yeah.
It was amazing to watch him work. And I also got to help a little bit with the installation. He also he was like, he found a tower stairs, like you would to an actual, like, satellite tower.
Oh.
Some man out in the rural country had them, which I was like, you're very brave for going out there
Yeah.
to some random man's house in the country
Yeah.
who just so happened to have stairs that he built himself.
Right.
For what? What is he building out there? But he went, he picked them up, and he brought them in. So we had these sound mirrors on towers. It was incredible. And it made it into Miami New Times, apologies, of art shows to see. We had a lot of great feedback from folks on just the beauty of it, and, you know, we activated it. I was able to activate it because Selena wasn't there with the performance with sound artist Danny Amato, who I work with a lot, and it was beautiful. It was intimate. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
Dang, bro, I really wish I was able to make it, but
Trash.
damn. You know I'm up in Broward County, bro. It's not
That's
easy.
not our problem. That's not our
Arsimmer,
problem.
we're not about to do this live,
That's not
bro.
our problem.
We're not about
you
to
know,
do this
and
right
it's
now.
and you know what? You can't help where you know.
You know what's great? I was literally about to pay you a compliment, and now I'm second guessing it.
It's not your fault. I blame you for things that are not your fault.
I'm just gonna.
Broward is not your fault.
I'm gonna ignore the last 40 seconds of this conversation. So yeah, the way that you can just describe things is just so beautiful, Arsimmer. Like it really puts you in you have a very descriptive way of speaking. I feel like that is what makes you such a great poet and writer as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Even though, like I was not there. I felt like I was, and you just know how to paint a picture with your words, and I think that's really beautiful.
I appreciate that. I come from storytellers. I come from uncles who like to tell the same story over and over and over again. God rest soul, my Uncle Shapiro, my Uncle Alex. These were men who went to war as boys. So we're also around storytellers, you know. But yeah, my father, also a boy who had to go to the army.
Dang.
I do think there is a connection between boys in the army and storytelling. There has to be. They get to travel. They've probably seen a lot, heard a lot. My father can tell you some stories about him in Germany. It's how I got my brother, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
I love my brother. Shout out to Jeremy.
Shout out Jeremy.
But yeah, that's pretty much like where that description comes from. I think it also comes from a little bit of trauma.
Word?
I would say that. I think like being afraid of being understood or misunderstood makes me feel like I have to be direct and I have to be descriptive and you have to know exactly what I'm saying. So yeah, most times people who do a lot of explaining and like are very descriptive, it's because they're like, I don't want you to misconstrue not one thing that I have said out of fear. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of that too.
Dang, that takes a lot of awareness to recognize that within yourself.
Yeah, it's annoying. Being self-reflective is annoying. I don't care what nobody says. Like, literally knowing better and doing it for the plot, tacky. It's tacky. It's tacky, man. It's not okay.
But it's like the idea that you could just simply be ignorant to what your flaws are or what your trauma responses are is even more destructive. You know what I mean? Because you can't heal what you do not recognize is an illness or a wound.
I don't know. Like, I feel like ignorance is bliss. I really do. I feel like not knowing like that you're an asshole. Like I feel like
that's
because think about an asshole.
Yes.
Like one. I think we all know one, right?
Yeah.
And they're so they do not care. Like, what you gonna do?
Right.
It comes to a point where everybody's just like, oh, that's Cameron, right? That's Deb. Like nobody says anything. But the self-reflective person who's aware, somewhere in their conversation, you catch a glimpse that they know better. And now we're not. No, Debbie cannot come back to the party. She can't come back to book club. She knows better. Like, you know.
Why is that? Why do we have more grace for people who are ignorant than those who know? Well, it's because they know better, obviously. But the idea. Wait, hold on. Let me cook.
He said, "Let me cook."
Because it's like the people that are completely ignorant are the ones that need the help the most, that need to be held accountable the most. You know what I mean? So if we're just like, oh, that's Cameron gonna die alone. Like, we not helping them by just accepting them as they are. Like, you could be like 80 years old. You can still change as a person. Like, no one has to accept the way that you are. You feel me?
I don't know. I feel you're right. Like, you're absolutely right. I think, though, that we do require more from people that we know better, because all of these folks in some way, shape, or form can really help to change humanity. Like, these people, I think we're so desperate to just make them understand, like, you do know, because you have the gift of reflection, that you can change the course.
Right.
You know? And those folks who don't, like, they can't. They're not going to change. They're going to change the course, right? And so we need the reflective people to, like, combat that.
Yeah.
That's I guess, you know, like, that's the I think that's the conversation that we're having. And, you know, just to make sure, like, this does not apply to, like, people with, like, you know, delays in communication or delays in learning or things of that nature. Like, we're not speaking on that. Like, I think we're literally talking about people who are dedicated to not understanding.
Right.
There are people like that.
Right.
For sure.
A lot of people like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, what does combating it look like if not having the patience to be like, nah, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like forcing them to take the medicine of being reflective. Like you cannot be this delusional forever, bro, when I'm hitting you with facts on facts on facts.
Well, then that's where you have to decide, like, what's more important, me doing this or my mental health.
You're right.
Like,
I ain't got the patience for all that.
Right.
I just let people be.
And I mean, honestly, we do live in a very, I will say, I don't know if the word is selfish, but I will say that communal care has kind of taken a back seat to this self-care movement that has been monetized and honestly polluted.
Self-care is such a sweet word to put on what you're describing.
It's such,
it's more like self-interest.
It's self-interest. And it's like, you piss me off, I'm finna block you. I'm not talking to you no more.
Right, that's it. Yeah.
I'm all for people protecting their peace.
100%.
I was one of those. I will say I am one of those people.
Okay.
To be honest, I protected my peace real bad to the point where I looked around and was like, oh, anybody over here? Nobody is here. And sadly, that is where abuse came in because I was isolated from people. That's where it came in. And so I had to learn that I've always been have the difficult conversation person.
Yeah.
I am really that person.
Yeah.
Because ultimately what do we do? Like you want to swap it out? Like it's no.
We gotta address the elephant.
Right, exactly. And I've always been that way, and I'm realizing, certain people are not necessarily that. And I think that's also through my work is how I'm able also to have those conversations that I feel like sometimes I can't necessarily have the face-to-face.
Okay. Tell me more about how you engage that with your work.
Okay. So how do I explain? So I find that a lot of people like to put the label organizer on me.
Really?
They like to put the label activist. I don't see myself as an organizer or an activist. I actually know people that have done that work. So I know what that entails.
Right.
And I'm not talking about just being in community. I'm talking about the shedding that it takes to be an organizer.
The shedding.
There is a shedding of ego. There's a shedding of celebrity. There is, it should be, to me, mounted on the idea of the work has to get done.
Yeah.
In the words of D'Angelo, God rest his soul till it's done. Like, that's what it is. My grandmother was an environmental activist.
Okay.
And I watched that woman. I don't know that I ever saw that woman eat food except for holidays. And it was cigarettes. It was cigarettes and coffee. And literally, this is somebody who was in the field every single day, fighting up in Broward. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fighting in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Fighting in Fort Lauderdale. For her people, for the neighborhoods that were affected by the sewer, affected by the incinerator. Wingate.
What is that?
So Wingate was this incinerator that the toxic remnants of it was seeping into the soil and into the water. So people were having children that were born with defects. People were getting cancer. And she was instrumental in creating research around this to get the numbers, the data, the facts, and she proved that this incinerator was, in fact, the reason for the amount of cancer deaths that were happening in that Fort Lauderdale area.
Wow.
So I know what organizing and activism looks like, right?
Yeah.
We're not playing at revolution, right? The goal is to achieve a thing.
Right.
And so I think that I talk a lot about that in my work because I'm not sitting going back and forth with nobody about how I feel, and I'm not sitting going back and forth with nobody about my views on what organizing spaces should look like. So I do that through poetry. I do that through the work. And anybody who is willing to listen, anybody who is willing to sit and engage in that way, I'm definitely open to it because now it's on a different medium, right? It's not a debate, it's not a panel or anything like that. It's really a conversation within the art. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's how I have the conversation. I also have the conversations about relationships, connectivity, things that I really can't, talk to the girls about, which I love my girls, but some things, I'm learning, I'm working through it.
We always grow.
Yeah, but yeah, the poetry is the way for me to have those talks with both myself, the ancestors, and with God.
Absolutely, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And so the fact that people put this organizer and activist label on you, I think how people approach activism has changed from when you were a little girl as to now.
Now, when I was a little girl, what, in 1967? What are you talking about? I'm dead. I mean,
my fault.
I am about to be 40, so I guess I gotta handle that. I guess I am an elder. Yes, back when I was a little girl.
I didn't even mean it like that.
When what was it? Dang, what was that show?
Good Times.
Yeah, with Good Times. When Good Times and What's Happening Now was on the TV, on the tele, and on the tube. And we used to play records at the malt shop. Dead.
My fault, twin. I genuinely don't know how old you are. You feel me? We got some decades between us.
We do have some decades between us.
Maybe a little 2,
yes.
1.5.
Yeah. And you was born the same time as the Tesla. I don't know.
Bro, I was born 2 months before 9/11.
2 months before 9/11. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I love how you had to add 9/11 there to circumvent my jokes. That's green, but I'm gonna let you have that. You see, petty.
You feel me?
I'm gonna let you have that.
When you get roasted,
I was born 2 months after 9/11. What I'm gonna say after that? Anyway, what I'm gonna say after that? Nothing.
I'm sorry.
That's wild.
Back to the top.
I was like, what? Well, I was 5 during Hurricane Andrew. Yeah.
Now we all see
this
now.
You weren't even around New York. I was in I was down south.
Yeah.
Where it got hit the hardest.
You remember.
In Richmond Heights, I do. You know what's wild? I just wrote a poem actually about Hurricane Andrew, and it's specifically about the fact that this entire time, I thought my grandmother and my Uncle Shapiro were in the house. And I talked to my mom, and my mom was like, no, Leah. Leah's my middle name. She's like, they were not there. And I vividly remember sitting in the closet with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. I remember going into the hallway and sitting with my grandmother, falling asleep on her. Mm-hmm. I remember walking by as we left out of the closet and seeing my dad and another man, who I assume is my Uncle Shapiro, putting the mattress up against the window. And she's like, well, all of that is true. We did take you from the closet to the hallway. Mm-hmm. Your dad was putting but they were not there.
What do you mean by that?
I have no idea. It's very crazy. I thought they were there. And so I can only say that had to be some spiritual thing in my brain as a kid that maybe I did as a coping mechanism, that I put more people in the house to feel safer. But it was literally me, my mother, my father, and my sister, and dog.
Wow. So they did that prior to the hurricane happening?
When you say prior, what, boarded up the house?
Yes, because you're saying that your grandmother said, well, whoever was in the house, you said,
Yeah.
hey, this did happen, but not when you think it happened.
So when I said that, like, so my mother put me in the closet first.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm guessing that was just a reflex for her. She took me out of the closet and put me in the hallway. I was the only one in the hallway. My sister maybe was there, but I don't even remember my sister. The only reason I know my sister was there is because of pictures of my sister after it was done sitting on the couch. But I could have sworn I was in the hallway with my grandmother and that somebody was helping my dad with the window. The tree came through the window.
Oh.
And so he was putting the mattress up to create this like boundary.
Yeah.
The door to my bedroom window was like, I remember it hitting because they couldn't board up my room. So all my Archie comics, my little gun I got from It's a Small World at Disney World was gone. Everything was gone. It was a mess.
So sorry.
I was so pissed. But yeah, so I wrote this piece just about like just that. Like I didn't even go into the spiritual realm of it. I wanted people to read it and be like, what? Like I want you to come to your own conclusion on why you think that I thought that.
Right.
And also to pull from yourself moments where you've seen things or heard things or felt things. I think that the sister, when we were talking, she was saying, you know, spirit led her to, you know, talk about soup and to bring people together because of, you know, food. And I don't think we trust enough our discernment and our gut on things, right? I think that there has been this, I don't know, like too much data, too much facts, too much, you know, people telling you, you know, this, you know, too much psychoanalyzing from people with no degree and from the people with degrees, you know, and don't put into the conversation ancestry of both healed and unhealed spirits. Because we have both. There are people that left this earth that did not heal.
Plenty.
And they'll talk to you the same way a healed ancestor will talk to you. So I don't think there's enough of like listening to ourselves when it comes to our art and when it comes to decisions. And sometimes, yeah, like I said, you got to do it for the plot. And then the plot does you. And that's when you're looking crazy. But yeah, I just wrote that piece, about Andrew. My hope is to finish this book, Acts of God, which is about just Miami as a whole and how I see it as one big ass act of God. Everything that Miami has been through, and especially everything that Black people have been through in the city of Miami.
Right.
Hurricane Andrew being one of them.
Yeah, you know, that's crazy because I was literally about to ask you, like, what was it like growing up in Miami, like from your perspective? Because everyone's upbringing is completely different, but I want like the Arsimmer McCoy perspective.
I feel like when you grow up in Miami, you grow up in all parts of Miami.
Yeah.
The curious children, the ones who knew how to get on the bus, get on the metro rail.
Yeah.
The ones who dated too early. The ones who had, what was it? Used to be on the chat line, right? You don't know nothing about that.
I don't know
the
nothing
party
about
line.
That. I don't know nothing about that. What year was this?
Oh gosh, don't make me. I don't remember that of that.
Just so
2000 what? 4, 3,
Okay.
4. So I was an explorer. I also was a kid where I didn't like the idea of you thinking you could keep me somewhere. Like my spirit animal is the honey badger. Like you're not about to keep me nowhere, right? Which really rebel without no cause. But I used to skip school. I used to go up to Liberty City to the flea market. I used to take the 52 ghouls to Dayland South to North Side. And I just loved this clear indication that I was in a different part of the city. My sister lived in Miami Shores, so I would babysit sometimes my niece. So I would get on the bus, take like 2 buses, I think, to Miami Shores, to babysit over there. Perrine, I went to church in Perrine, Sweet Home Baptist Church. Like, to be a Miami kid is to go everywhere, see everything. Is about music, for sure. But I do feel like my music is maybe a little bit more extensive because my father definitely is like, I don't know, he's a black man, but like also a white hippie, if that makes any sense, inside of his body. Definitely a Caucasian hippie, which, you know, that could turn anytime. So I also like, the same way I love George Benson and Outkast, I also love Cat Stevens. I don't know if anybody knows Cat. I love Cat Stevens, like Moon Shadow, like I'm being followed by one. It's the same way, you know, so my music is extensive, but it's understanding like bass and boom and speaker and donks and comforters and ribs and, you know, catfish over grits is like, it's sun showers. It's seeing sun showers on one side of the city and not on the other, which is right across the street, and knowing that that's a normal thing, right? It's having no seasons. Yep. It's being able to wear shorts all year long. Yep. It's braids, it's box braids, it's going to the flea, getting your nails done. Like my childhood was amazing, like looking back on it. Even my teens, even my college years, I worked at the Carroll City Flea Market, at this place called Foot Mart, selling sneakers, which were probably stolen, for sure. Like, for sure. Like, looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, bruh. And if not stolen, fake. If not stolen, fake as hell. Like, Foot Mart was wild, man.
Crazy.
Such a wild place. But it's where I got to meet Kimbo Slice. Like, Kimbo Slice pulled up. Nice. Trick Daddy would come in there to get fits. Who else? Rick Ross.
Nice.
You know, all the boys. Briscoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we, you know, you meet the rappers. They would come in there. Oh my God, it starts with a P. I can't remember his name, but he like, oh, what's his name?
Puff Daddy?
Not Puff. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I did work for Revolt though one year.
Did you?
I did. I never got to meet him, but I worked for Revolt one year. They held it at the Fountain Blue, and I was, I don't even know, like administrative assistant. I got a free check. I did not do anything. I did not do anything. I got a free check. I feel like I did something, but I can't remember what that something was. But that's also Miami, right? Like, that's Miami. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you will work for Revolt. I was a brand ambassador for Make America. Like,
okay,
I have done so many. Like, yo, it's wild. It's wild.
City full of hustlers, though, bro.
Yeah. So it's like, I wish sometimes like we could put all of that on the resume, right? And people would respect it. Yeah. People from Miami can see it and be like, oh yeah, you have experience, like real life experience that can be very helpful in this field,
right?
Of whatever the hell we ask you to do.
Right.
But yeah, growing up in Miami, man, is just like, it's a very show improved place. And I think that's what gets lost in translation with a lot of folks that come here, right? They're like, you know, everybody mean, everybody this, everybody, like, no, clearly we're not. Because this is an entire city now made up of people not from here. If you go into a large setting, be like, anybody from Miami? It'd be 2 or 3 people at this point, right? 100%. It is a city that is welcoming, that does, you know, create space. Sometimes more so for people who have been here for years and years doing the work. And that's no shade, no tea. That's just what it is. Yeah. But it is a show improved place. 100%. Like, we are people who are, we hear what you're saying, but we're always going to want to see the work.
Absolutely. And
if you can't show the work, when you do your math problem, you can't show your work, it's an F.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
ain't no mental math,
that was a lot to say. Growing up in Miami was great.
That's beautiful. I mean, as a
I forgot
person,
mangoes too.
mangoes,
Yeah, eat
absolutely
mangoes.
staple.
Still eating mangoes to this day.
Never gets old. But I
Never.
think that's an incredibly beautiful and very descriptive way to talk about Miami. I want to touch even more so on the last part where it's a show and prove type of city. Because it's like me, like when I first started making artwork, I came straight into the heart of Miami. I was introduced by a mutual friend of ours, Zen. Yeah.
Zen, shout out to Zen.
Shout out Zen, bro.
Oh,
I
he
hope you
called
watch
me.
him. You gotta call him back. Yeah, I mentioned him to you.
I gotta call him back.
Yeah, but like we met on absolute chance by the grace of God, and he would just immediately bring me in the midst of whatever he was doing. And it's like I remember me still trying to find my artistic way and seeing all these artists where I ideally wanted to be, and I'm like, dang, like how do I get like that? Like how do I get to the stature that they're at? And nowadays I'm understanding more. It's like these artists are putting rigorous hours of work in the studio, bro. Like they're locking themselves in the studio. They're making tens of hundreds of pieces, just deepening their crafts, and like their crafts being an extension of themselves and their understanding of themselves and their worlds around them. So there's really no point of you being envious of any other artist when you can only be you. They can only be them, and they're gonna be great at that. You can be great at what you are, but you have to put in the work, bro. Like because authenticity will always prevail, no matter what. So as long as you are being authentic to you, it's gonna work out. Because sometimes, especially, okay, so the Roscoe B. Thick show that he curated, Suns and Shadows, phenomenal work, phenomenal work. Spaces like that. I love spaces like that because it literally had some of the best black voices in art showing and coming to support as well. And it's very beautiful because it's like you don't always see vibrant black art spaces. You know what I mean? And it felt like an event absolutely for us. And there's a small part of my brain that says, you don't make art like that. I'm like, nigga, okay. Like they make art about like their experiences as black men and their upbringing. And my upbringing was completely different. You know what I mean? And there's space for me just like there is space for them. You know what I mean? And allowing other people to shine. Like envy is a useless emotion. You should replace envy with admiration because this is a flesh and blood person that is showing you what you aspire for is possible. But your path has to be unique to yourself.
I don't really know what you asking me because you said what you needed to say.
My fault. Nah,
He said what he said. He said what he said. I mean, if I could piggyback on that, I appreciate you understanding that and seeing that because that is the case.
Yeah.
This is not you, when you came into our lives, you coming into our lives after 11 years of us feet the ground, sweating, crying, dying, living again, like cycle, like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like people meet you at certain times in your life and forfeit the knowledge of how we got to this space.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you acknowledging that. And you're right. It is no use. It's absolutely no use. And that's not to say, but give yourself grace. Like I give myself grace for feeling some type of way sometimes about certain things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's a fair emotion. When you've been working so hard, when you have put more into organizations than you've seen them put back into you, right?
Yeah.
When you are an abstract artist and you feel that everybody wants to see a certain type of art, right?
Yeah.
And my heart is full and big for the black abstract artists.
Thank you.
Is because it's a space that needs to be taken up. We don't have enough of it. And I want, we don't have the luxury of making art for art's sake. And we also do. People will argue with that. But, especially now in this time, I thought we would be in this time where we could paint suns and shadows and flowers and kittens.
Right.
I thought.
Right.
But clearly, no. Clearly, it's still some bullshit. But I love to see the abstract artists. I love that, especially black abstract artists. And there are, and historically, there are some amazing Black abstract artists. But give yourself grace for feeling that way, because it's true. And the art space is a difficult space, and it is a difficult space in Miami.
Yeah.
The love that we have for each other and the love that you saw last night, like, mind you, I was mad at like 2 people there, couldn't even do it. You saw me get checked. I got checked. I got checked. I had to lay it down and give it up. And you come, and because you realize that we're the South. Miami is the South. I don't care what nobody say.
Yes.
We country as hell.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody, right? Me meeting these folks now we know each other. And now I'm finna meet 2 of your cousins. And that's what it is. Like, we're the South. And so we can't afford it.
Division.
We can't afford the division at all, right? But we also respect each other for the lanes that we're trying to make for each other.
Right.
I appreciate artists who have looked at me and not just seen a poet that is like, oh, you're a poet, so you go here.
Right.
Right? Mind you, I have been a part of a community that I will probably never get a call to perform on an open mic set with some of the underground poets that are here,
Yeah.
I've actually never gotten a call to come to those spaces, right? And you feel some type of way, but then you realize, no, I've created another space for myself.
Right.
I have created a community for myself. I am an interdisciplinary artist. I am not just a poet.
Right.
I don't see poetry as just poetry. I don't see the spoken word as stopping at the mic.
Right.
Right? I believe that the spoken word artists, as they are sounding like they do, should be in any space that they want to occupy.
Yep.
Right? Why can't I perform in this space with this artist and activate this artist's work? Why?
Why not?
Because what? Right. Right. That's my thing. But there are some artists, even in your own field, that will look at you and be like, well, you're abstract. Why are you trying to go here? Why are you trying to build a background set for this space?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not why.
Because why not?
Because why the fuck not?
Like, you can really do whatever you want with your practice as long as it is you who wants to do it. Because it's like me being a Black abstract artist, bro. I'm going to talk about myself.
Talk about yourself.
Like, bro, like, it is hard because it's like it's not explicitly about Blackness, but I'm a Black man making the art. Therefore, it is Black art.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I go into spaces, I'm like, damn, like, am I even Black enough for this conversation, for this appreciation? And it's like, I understand that is a completely preposterous thought to have, because my experience as a Black man, as different as it may be to everybody else's, is completely valid. Yeah. I still be lost in some conversations sometimes, though.
Because okay, I'm gonna say this, and my hope is that it will merge or it will reach into what you or align with what you're thinking. When it comes to Blackness, I do not care what you look like. I know by what come out your mouth.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know what comes out of your mouth, whether or not you understand Black people, Black experience, Black thought, Black conversation. That's all that I'm looking for. And to be honest, I think some people, when they sit with me or talk with me, they don't really know how I view Blackness. And that's fine. That's actually a good thing. I don't want you to know.
Okay.
I don't want you to know. But what I will say is, you don't have to question. If you know that that is your experience, and you know that, like, spiritually that's how you feel, there's no need to debate or argue with anybody about that. I hope that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I'm just not like I don't care if you come to me with cowrie shells in your goddamn head and you got what is that? Black girl's wine in your house and you got black girl magic wine in your house. I don't care nothing about that.
Right.
Because there's also, and I think this is across cultures where we're seeing a lot of performative art.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like we're seeing a lot of performance art when it comes to culture.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know people was into performance art as much as we seeing it. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to certain areas, like the performing of an area, the performing of a people. There are people watching you right now that are studying you because you as you are, it can be monetized.
Wow.
They can take your voice out of your mouth and perform as you. Perform as a person from Miami. Perform as a person from the South. Perform as a black person. Perform, like
Yeah.
it's very scary.
It is scary.
But have very white thoughts when they go home.
Wow.
I said what I said.
No, you had to say it. You had to say it.
So I want you to know that if that's not your spirit and that's not how you're moving, you're fine. And you don't have to argue with anybody
For sure.
about how you feel about you, and especially not about work that they can't do. Okay.
Thank you, Arsimmer.
You're welcome.
You feel me? Art therapy is a space for vulnerability.
Art therapy.
You feel me? Your boy had to open up real quick.
No,
but
I get it. I feel sometimes like my poetry is abstract. I remember first starting out, I wasn't really nurtured. The poetry wasn't nurtured.
Yeah.
I was told like I write stories. Like, oh, your poems they're like short stories, which I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, how can we nurture this, right? And so, but I was also with someone who very much, would reveal to me later that they didn't want me to be successful. They were scared of what it would look like for me to stand,
Really?
in my power. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
In my own home, for a decade. So it's very sad, like, that I had to go through that and move out of that and then finally, like, cultivate, practice, write, understand it, and then realize, oh, I see what you was afraid of.
Right.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I wouldn't have wanted me to be at this level either. And I still have a lot of growing to do.
For sure.
Man, I have so much growing to do, and so much work to put in. But I figured out a way to take my style and make it my own. Yes, I do tell stories. So what am I talking about? How then do I put it how do I merge these forms? And also being, I don't want to say a theater kid because theater kids are weird. I love y'all.
Kind of strange.
I have a theater kid, my daughter,
Yeah.
I know that's me, like, I have black friends, but I do have a theater child in my home, and she is for sure one, and she's not even, like, for real. Like, I was, theater children, they're weird, okay, 100%.
Shout out y'all, though.
Shout out to y'all. We need y'all running
weird
around
people.
singing Les Mis for no reason. We need it.
Shout out to you people.
For no reason. No reason. Nobody asked you for a monologue from Cats. Nobody asked for that. Like, nobody asked for that. And the black theater kids, oh my God, that's a different level. That is a different level. Shout out to Miami Northwestern Payback Program.
Yeah.
I used to compete against them. They would come into the room. Shout out to Miss Stewart, rest her soul. Oh, she was amazing. Them kids would come in like uniform, like a military, okay? She had them like in check. They were walking, they wouldn't talk to nobody. We are here for business, okay? And they would take home Critics' Choice every year because nobody was paying them. But like, imagine just like out of nowhere somebody singing The Wiz, like for no reason, like that. Amazing, yes. Beautiful, yes. Or Pearly Victorious, whole dance numbers for nothing. For nobody asked you for that.
Bruh. But it's like their expression is as valid as
It
our
is, right.
expression. You
So,
know what I mean?
but I did do theater. I love theater.
Yes.
I love theater. I love all the things I name. I know all the songs as well from them. I just don't bust out with them in public.
Do a flash mob.
But so with that, I went to a predominantly white school.
Did you?
I went to Miami Palmetto Senior High. And my theater teacher, he was an interesting man. He also was not very nurturing. I remember we did The Crucible. I don't know if y'all familiar with the theater Crucible. I did not audition for the part of Tituba, what was given the part of Tituba. So you know what the part of Tituba, right. So I had to do this terrible ass Bahamian accent. I shouldn't have did it at all. Mind you, I was absent from school and walked into class and it was like, Tituba! It was not cute.
Whoa.
Yeah. So this is what I dealt with as a kid, as a black child, who was also aware of their blackness. Because that needs to be noted.
Yes.
I was aware of my blackness. So I was aware of what was happening to me.
Yeah.
We would audition for, shows. And we did Midsummer Night's Dream. I wanted the part of the Queen of the Fairies. I was amazing. I practiced, I auditioned for this part. I did not get this part. And I knew the reason I didn't get this part was because I was black. I know that's why. Which was stupid as hell to me because the Queen of the Fairies isn't real. We don't know if she was blue. We don't know if she was green. But I realized in that moment, like, you're not even finna let me be a fantastical character. You're not even gonna let me be something magical.
Right.
Right?
It wouldn't correlate to their idea of
because
blackness.
it's not correlating to their idea. I would eventually go on to do theater. I got a scholarship to go to the University of Evansville.
Okay. Fine.
Super cool for theater. My first day walking to class, I will never forget it. Scott Lank was standing outside of that classroom, and he looks at me and goes, "You looking very ghetto today." Oh, yeah. Whoa. Yep. So y'all know I didn't last too long at the University of Evansville because I was pissing the people off left and right. And ultimately, I realized just like theater, not a black space. I'm fighting for nothing. I remember having debates with these kids. We talked about Hamlet, and I was telling them, like, there will never be a black Hamlet because y'all will never accept a black Hamlet. And they got pissed. And I remember this kid named Sam threw a trash can across the room because he didn't like being called racist. And it was so much. And so I was able to, as I got older, find a place that felt comfortable for me. So what you're hearing in my work is that theater and me finally being able to perform the way I want to.
Yes.
To see the theater of the poetry and activating these magical and fantastical spirits and characters through my work. Like, I realized, like, I don't gotta be on your stage, and I don't have to be in your play. You know, this is my world, right? And I can play all the parts. And so you'll see that. People pick up on it when they see me perform, but that's also what you're seeing is like that theater kid coming out. Yeah.
That's so great. That's so liberating too.
Yeah.
Man, yo, make some noise for Arsimmer real quick, live studio audience. Come on, bro. Yeah. Because that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Yes, woo!
I feel like we've been here 5 hours, like.
Bro, this show is always so fun, like, the deeper we get into it, bro. But it's like the fact that you are able to liberate yourself and from everybody's expectations of you and carving out a space and a lane specifically for you. And that's what you want to see others doing. So kudos to you.
Specifically my child.
Yes.
That's what I want to see my child do.
Amen.
I want Yaya to I don't care what she chooses to do. I do not care. I just want her to own it, and I want her to not care about what anyone says, or the movements of other people. That she has herself and she has her family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. And
Shout out to my jit.
Shout out Yaya. Shout out Yaya, man. But that's one of the biggest takeaways on art, being an artist, but also just life and just being the change that you want to see, bro. Because with every single person who does that, it makes the world a more suitable place for the generations after us. Like the activists of the past, like everybody that was marching with Dr. King, they were doing that because they wanted to see the world that they wanted to see. And the world that we have now was just a dream to them, and it's more feasible now. And I think that's
some of them wanted camera time. Let's just keep it.
I mean,
let's
yeah,
keep it
that's
above.
okay, but
And that's what I'm talking about.
the performativeness.
The performance. Listen, we didn't just start performing now.
Hold on, but
Somebody
was
made 'em.
wearing three-piece suits in that Birmingham heat in.
They have no other clothes, friend. My daddy still wear a 3-piece suit to work because he was born in the 60s.
Yes.
There's nothing else to wear.
Floridians don't care what temperatures. They gonna get their fit off.
They gonna get their fit on. They gonna throw a fit.
Yup.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. But I feel like that's where people correlate the art, the activism to you. Like, yes, you aren't, from your perspective, being the hard pusher and advocate to social reform, but you are very vocal and ample about change and being the change that you want to see. That's powerful.
Fair. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. And that's using your gifts for good, because, like, you may not be the activist that changed the world, but the activist that changed the world might hear one of your poems, and that just lights a flame within them.
I would love that. That would be really cool.
It
actually.
would be really cool.
That would be really, really cool. I'd be forever grateful. Yeah.
You're doing the work, though, and the more your reach expands, the more likely it is to happen. You feel me? And I know that you're doing the right thing. I know you're on the right path, and I appreciate that you understand that there's always room to grow. You feel me? Like, we're simply becoming wiser by the day. One days we wise, the other days we a fool. Shoot, I was a fool yesterday. Yeah. I'm a little wiser today. Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. I might be foolish tomorrow, but the wise learn from that. You feel me? And we try to not repeat those mistakes. You know why? Because we know better. Yeah. And it's our job to be better. Absolutely. Yeah. Dang. Philip, is that all the time we have?
Yeah. He's like, it been time. I feel like we've been here so long. Thank you so much, Philip.
Thank you, Philip.
This is incredible.
Thank you, live studio
y'all.
audience.
Thank you. Y'all are great.
Oh, my gosh.
No. Thank you. Thank you. I love you too.
That's so great. So much love in the area. So much love in the area.
You.
And we beaming love right at you behind the camera, because you matter and the world is a better place with you in it. So by all means, do not restrain yourself in any way. Be you. Be the best you possibly can be. Learn about yourself. Learn your flaws. We're not telling you to embrace those, right? But there's something about you that is very specific, very unique, and very powerful. We want you to tap into that. That's all I'm doing. That's all Arsimmer's doing.
I like my flaws.
She working on them, though.
No.
Miami Community Radio. Art therapy. Shout out to the crib. Shout out everybody up in Miami. Shout out Roscoe. Shout out Mark Delmont, Reggie. Shout out Uncle Clarence. Shout out Artist Prevails Projects.
Mike Flournoy.
Shout out Lance Minto.
T.S. Elliott.
Shout out T. Elliott Mansa. Thank you, Black Abstract Artist. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also shout out Heaven, Shayla, Nem. Shout out Rezia Hayes. Shout out for Ronaldo. Shout out Boss Magazine. All my homies at the crib. Shout out everybody at Mocha, especially you, Lauren.
Aww.
Shout out Lauren. And also shout out Claudia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else you
Who
want to shout out?
else? I don't know. I think we're supposed to let the man play the
It's
music.
okay. It's okay. You'll be all right.
I feel like you named like everybody. You named the whole entire crib. Did you say Mark Delmont?
Of course. Oh, shout out Desi Swoop.
Shout out Desi.
For sure. That's all I got. Anybody I forgot, I'm gonna pray for you though, and that's more important. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah. All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.